time is now, the time is here. Round up the soldiers and lend me your ear. Pick your head up, stick your chest out, be strong, listen closely, cause men can't always be wrong. Steve-O, JB, B. Hudson, and T-Swin. Gon' get your mind right, let's dive in the deep end and attack the issues and problems that hound us today. Yeah, we out here in the field, but we ain't coming to play. We all shepherds trying to keep the flock from going astray. If you wanna be the change, then let's be it today. Now there's always obstacles that's gonna get in your way, but it's important how you handle it, maneuver and pray. We keep you up to date with current affairs. We all know that the structure been broken, so let's make the repairs. There's a culture trying to cancel us and give you a spin, but you can come and get the truth from this panel of men. We on 10, going in, let the speech be free. We about to knock down the doors, you can keep the key. God first, then man, so let's execute the plan and deliver the message so the people can understand. Like, the time is now, the time is here. Round up the soldiers and lend me your ear. Pick your head up, stick your chest out, be strong, listen closely, cause men can't always be wrong. The time is now, the time is here. Round up the soldiers and lend me your ear. Pick your head up, stick your chest out, be strong, listen closely, cause men can't always be wrong. Men can't always be. Men can't always be. Men can't always be wrong.
What up, everybody? What up, everybody? It's your guy T-Swin, man, back again for the win. And this is the Man Can't Always Be Wrong podcast, brought to you by CTR Media Network, man. And we back in the building. I'm one of your hosts, T-Swin, your favorite rapping expediter. Make sure you go get my Appetizer Music album is out now. And I'm about to bring on my other host, JB.
How's it going, everybody? It's your boy Jay Bean. You know, as usual, this is your average Joe giving an honest opinion. We got a great show today, man. We're gonna talk about, Second Amendment, man. All this crazy stuff happened, all this gun stuff, man. We have all these mass shootings today and all this other stuff going on, man. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this topic, man.
Yeah, man. Are guns too accessible? But first, bro, how you been, JB?
I'm good, man. Just a little tired, but that's life.
Man, shoot, man, things been going good for man. We've been away for a little bit, man. Your boy T-Swin got a little under the weather. I had a temperature of 105 for 3 days straight. I went to the doctor, man. They told me just keep doing my regimen with, keeping my fever down and taking pain medicine to keep the pain. They didn't give me anything. And shoot, man, it took me about a week to get over that, man. My temperature was 3 days, and it was like 103, 102. And then finally after 5 days, it went back down to normal. And then my daughter, man, she just had prom. So just been ripping and running, man. Your boys taking college classes. So man, just been lifing. Life been lifing.
Yeah, that's talent, man. Especially when you get older, man. It's hard to go back to school when you're older, man. So, man, all you young guys out there, man, try to knock it out right out of high school, man.
Yeah, if I got time, I would went right after high school or straight after. Did 4 years in the military and went straight. But shit, man. So let's get to it, man. Are guns too accessible? So we just had a situation happen with a young man by the name of Ralph Y'all. I don't know if y'all out there familiar with that, but JB, give him a rundown on that, man.
So basically, this young man, he went to go pick up his other siblings and accidentally went to the wrong house. He went to the house and knocked on the door, and the man proceeded to, shoot this young man multiple times, And then what made it even worse is, man, this is a 15-year-old, man, and then he went to other houses to get help and couldn't even get help, man. This is a child. So
I believe he was 16. He was 16 years old, and the guy shot. One of the shots was a hit. One of the shots was a headshot.
The headshot, yeah. So when did we get so cold to where this is a young man and nobody would give him assistance? Been shot multiple times.
Exactly. Man, when it comes to that, too, man, I hate to say it's a color thing, bro, but a lot of times, man, when we're in distress, a lot of times people don't render help, or they feel that whatever happened to us was justified, even if we're innocent. Now, this young man, he turned on the wrong street. He went to, I believe it was 115th Street, and he was supposed to go pick his two brothers up, his younger siblings up at 115 Terrace Street. And he's a young kid. He's a new driver. You're gonna make these mistakes, you know. And I've seen the pictures. He's a harmless looking young man. You know, he's in band. He excels at it. He's a good student. You know, and there's nothing threatening about the look of this young man. Yeah. And another thing too is man, it's just crazy, bro. That the first thing somebody would do is pull a gun and start shooting. You know, what's in this person's mind to do something like that? And another thing too is that when it comes to us, we always have to kind of prove our innocence. The news wants to bring up your background. We don't see them do that for other people, like to try to, because it's almost like sometimes they try to justify whatever happened to us should have happened to us, or was valid. The reason was valid for why violence happened to us. And this young man is an outstanding student. He's pretty much a role model for other kids, you know. And they have to go on news talk about all this kid's accolades to try to build up that he's a good person. Can't just be a kid that was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and somebody took the wrong choice, made the wrong choice, and took the wrong action. You know,
use a screen force, man. Like that's just a simple, hey man, you got the wrong address, or you know, or hey, let me help. What he should have did, like, hey man, let me. Well, maybe no, he should have like say, oh, this if he knew, no, there's another street of the street that's the same, you know, the same name of this street, but it's east or west, you know. That shouldn't have escalated at that point, you know.
Yeah, so you know, the news made it to where it's like we don't know what took place. We don't know if there was what kind of words were exchanged, if there was an altercation, none of that. But still, I've had people come up with, you know, to the wrong address. Yeah, I'm cautious, but you know, you can talk through your door. You know what I'm saying?
Door, yeah, oh man, yeah.
You know, or you got a screen door, you got a glass door. Be like, oh no, young man, you got the wrong address. Because I'm pretty sure, like once he saw the person, you know, they wouldn't unrecognizable. It was unrecognizable. He probably knew he was at the wrong place.
But what tripped me out about it, man, all these people got all these Ring doorbell. If you that scary, man, you don't want to, you know, you gotta go get a Ring. You don't even have to open the door, you know.
Yeah.
But going back to what you said,
that was unnecessary, man. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, going back to what you said about, you know, especially being an African American in this society, man. It's like, it seems like if something happens real automatically, a threat. No, I'm pretty sure all of us, from my point of view, from being a black male, that we all have stories of where we've been seen as aggressors in situations that we weren't even being aggressive. We just made a mistake, you know.
Yeah.
But I can tell a story. I remember when I was like in my 20s, you know, I always been a grinder, so I always worked a lot. So I went to a Chinese restaurant. I had worked overnight, and I guess I was like around 11, 12 a.m. I had worked all night, and I was just tired, man. And I went to go give me some food and whatnot. So I go to the restaurant, get my food, come out, and there's two cars. My car was a gray car, and there's another car that was a gray car. And the crazy thing about it was that I had a dent on the side of my front bumper, and the other car had a dent on this side of the front bumper. So, you know, me being sleepy, I walked to the wrong car, right? And I opened the door. And I look in the door like, hey, I don't have no black leather. So I'm assuming the guy left the door open. I ain't got no black leather. And then I looked around like, oh, I thought, cause you know, you tired. You like, man, I'm tripping. Like, do I have black leather? You know? But then I closed the door. Like, I was in the wrong car. I went to the wrong car, and a gentleman outside had seen me, and I was like, oh man, it's the wrong car. And then he gonna go run inside and say it's a black guy outside going in people's cars. You know, it was an honest
Yeah.
mistake. So then then all of a sudden 4 or 5 guys come out. You know,
Yeah.
of course we weren't the same race. So you know that put me in a situation where, oh, what you doing? You going to people's car? Like, say, man, look, this is my car. This is this car. This car was unlocked. Look at my car and this car. It got a dent right here. They got a dent right there. Man, I've been working all night, man. I was tired. I went to the wrong car.
Yeah.
So I had to have automatically assumed I'm doing something that I had no business doing when I was just trying to get home and go to sleep, eat and go to sleep, you know? But
Yeah.
think about it. If they would have pulled a gun and shot me,
You've been done for.
all I had to say is he was breaking in the cars.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Now myself, man, I've been shot at, and I was shot at just for being black. and I'm not stretching the truth or anything like that. I was shot at for being black. I was in a Hispanic neighborhood, man. When I was in high school, I used to work at Wendy's, and sometimes we would get off for work and go play basketball after we closed Wendy's. And the spot where we used to play basketball at, it was shut down, so we decided to go somewhere else. So we went to this park. It was in a predominantly Hispanic neighborhood. And almost everybody I worked with was Hispanic. It was like me and maybe two other black guys. The rest of the crew was all Hispanic. So we jump in the cars, we ride over to this park because one of the guys was like, "Hey, bro, let's go play at this park." We like, cool. So we over there playing, and some dudes walk up. We think they come hoop with us. You know, we ask them if they want to play. They say no. And so they walk right in the middle of our game. I say, man, that's weird. You know. So they come back. So we thinking, man, they finna play. All right, cool. We can maybe run some whole court or something, right? Dude was like, nah, y'all done effed up. He done brought some negritos to my neighborhood. Dude whistle, you know, go get the cuete. The cuete mean gun. So lights start coming on, man. People start coming out. They surrounded the whole park. They surrounded the park. And they was telling the other Hispanic people who was with us, and why you bringing the negritos to our neighborhood? You know, y'all messed up, right? So I'm standing there, man. I'm a kid. I'm like 16, 17. And so the dude that was like the leader, I'm thinking to myself, man, I'm too young to die. So when he turned around, I pushed him and I broke off running. I took off running. We had one Vietnamese guy with his name was Kim. And I rode there to the park with Kim. So me and another black dude, we took off running, man. And Kim took off running. We jumped in Kim's car. I remember he left his car unlocked. Man, so we took off. After I pushed dude, we took off running. They started shooting. Man, bullets is whizzing by. Man. We jump in the car. I dove in the car, man. Bullets hitting the car. Kim, man, I slumped down in the seat. Kim slumped down in his seat. He crunked that mug up, hit the gas, and took off. We got out, man. They was in the street shooting at the back of the car. You know, we got down the road and the next day we came to work. One of the other black guys is still there. And then they told everybody else, they held them there for a little bit and they told them don't ever come back here again. So we came to work the next day. The next day at work, man, it was quiet. You know? Yeah. It's just crazy. So man, I've had guns pulled on me and I've been shot at in both of them for racist racist altercations, man. So yeah, it's crazy out there, man. We it's kind of different, man. We talk about this a lot. We have to have a different talk with our children when they leave home. There are other people, they don't have to worry about if their kid wear a hoodie, if their kid's gonna be killed or taken in police custody just for wearing a hoodie and supposedly looking like a threat. You know what I'm saying? I've been around the world, man. Like I say, I'm a Navy veteran, so I've been a lot of places around the world, and I speak to people. And there were some people, man, they were afraid of black people because the images they've been shown, because they don't have any black people in their country. They've been shown in American movies and televisions, and that black people are thugs, that they're stupid, that they all use drugs or they steal. So they have this negative image, stereotype about black people. And then they meet us and talk to us and say, man, you're nothing like that. You're cool, man. You're super cool. So, and I've met, also being in the military, I met people that have grown up in little small towns that have never came in contact with black people. And they have that same mentality. You know, and they're like, man, I didn't know y'all talk like that. Or man, I ain't know you was into that. Man, I ain't know y'all comb y'all hair that way. All kind of stuff. And you like, this dude's living in the same country as you. For real, man. They watch you and they like, damn, you get your hair cut the same way I get my hair cut with a pair of clippers.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous, man. But we had
same
to have
guard,
certain talks with our youngest. Exactly. We had to have certain talks with our youngest, man. That's a different way we have to look at life and address life when we go out in the world, man. I can say for almost every black man, it is a task just trying to make it home every day. Not saying it's not for other people, man, but we have a lot of things that are against us. You know, when we get pulled over, we might not be doing anything wrong, but we thinking, oh, we gonna die today, or we gonna go to jail for something we didn't even. You know what I'm saying? I spent a night in jail for something he even do. You know, my brother spent 10 months in jail for something he didn't do because of a racist cop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Like going back to what you were saying about, about people prejudging us, you know. I tell people all the time, like I used to work in the prison system. The guys that make fun, I used to tell them quick, hey, I'm a suburban kid. I ain't no, you know, I grew up in Plain Texas. You know. So like this little background, you know, looking at me, I'm a 5'11", 215-pound black guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a small dude, you know what I'm saying? But my background, my family background, all my family, my dad's an educator, my sister's an educator, my mom has a master's degree. You know what I'm saying? I come from a well-educated background, you know, but you'll never know that unless you talk to me. If you see me, like, you know, big. But you know, they perceive us in a light to where we know we're always aggressive or we can't have a civil conversation about something, you know?
Yeah.
So you know, I have people even in the workplace, man, like if I go talk to them in a calm mannered way, then all of a sudden I'm the angry black guy, you know, when I'm just trying to get a point across in a civil manner. But now you done told my boss, and now my boss is looking at me. Why are you being so aggressive? I'm not being aggressive at all, man. I just had a conversation about, hey, man, you need to pull your share at work. Like this is like if it was reversed, and he came to me and said, hey, man, I need you to do this or do it. Okay, man, let's figure it out. Let's make it work. You know?
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, I come and say it, and then I'm the angry black guy. You know?
Yeah. Now I'll tell you about a time, man. I was in Fort Lauderdale one time. This is while I was in the military also. So we got in Fort Lauderdale, man. It's beautiful. It's sunny. I'm hanging with some of my shipmates, is what we call them, shipmates. And I'm hanging with like four white guys, right? We all got on T-shirts, cargo shorts, and flip-flops, right? We at some kind of plaza, and we get on the elevator. We joking and stuff, so we laughing, we talking. I don't remember what we talking about, but we was laughing and joking. We get on the elevator, and there's an older white woman and what appears to be her grandson. You know, we all get on the elevator, and I'm in the back of the elevator next to the lady and her grandson. The lady looks at me and grabs her purse and then grabs her grandson. And I'm like, man, what the hell? You just seen me get on the elevator with all these white guys. I'm wearing the same thing they got on. T-shirt, cargo shorts, flip-flops. What about me looks threatening? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't say anything to you. I didn't come on here by myself looking like I had evil intentions. I came in here laughing with some buddies. You know? And that's happened to me a couple times where I was like the only black person, and the woman looked at me and grabbed her purse. And I'm like, ma'am, I'm not paying no attention to you. I don't want anything from you. There's other people here. Why all of a sudden you see me, you want to grab your purse? You know, it's a crazy world we live in.
Yeah.
But back to this, man, are guns too accessible? Man, so there was a young man. He worked at a tire shop, man. This happened back in January this year. He worked at a tire shop in Atlanta. And this man was getting some work done. And so the young dude, man, he's a mechanic at the tire shop. He takes the car. A lot of times when work is getting done on cars, the mechanics will test drive the cars, right? The young man gets in the car. He has the paperwork. You know how they have it in a little plastic sleeve? He's in his mechanic uniform. He's in the car. He starts pulling the car off. The guy thinks that the guy's still in his car. He runs up, fires shots in the car. kills a young man. After he realized what he did, he took off running. The coworkers caught up with him, called the police. And this man, he's being charged with murder. But I can't really see that happening to nobody else.
Yeah.
I can't see that happening to nobody. This man was in uniform and he worked there.
Yeah. This is my thing about the whole, the way these gun laws is. I do support the Second Amendment. There's been when I was younger, there's a situation I had when I was younger with my mom, and then she didn't have a firearm. There's no telling what would have happened to us, So I'm not against people carrying guns, but the thing is this: I think that it need to be more harder to access them, So it need to be training, of course, because a lot of people don't know these laws, man. They think this because you're able to carry, you're able to use it. And that's not the case. It's like extreme situations when you're able to actually pull that firearm and use it before you get charged with a crime. So they need to teach murder. You need to take they need to be, they need to keep it where you take a course, you learn the laws, where you can and can't carry, when you can and can use it, because these people just think because they have it, they can pull it, and that's not the way it works. So not only are you ruining somebody else's life by maybe possibly taking a life or causing serious bodily harm, you're also going to ruin your life, for not knowing the laws, So you shouldn't have, And then the second thing is like, now that people can carry them more legally, supposedly, legally, depending on what state you're in. Now it's more people running around with them.
Yeah, because we live in Texas, man. It's open. In Texas, it's open carry now.
Yeah, that normally wouldn't have them. Normally wouldn't have a gun on them because of, the law wouldn't permit it. But now that they do, they're gonna, they get angry, but they're gonna pull it and use it.
Now, man, what do you think are the main reasons for gun violence in the United States, and how can we address them?
The main problems, I think, man, like for me, with gun violence is a generation of soft people.
Soft.
They too scared to take an L. So there's only two resolutions of that. They either gonna shoot you or jump you. They ain't gonna. So
too many people scared to take it to their hands. They're afraid to get embarrassed by getting their butt whooped, or getting afraid to get embarrassed in front of their lady. So if you beat them up, they coming back with a gun. Or before that even can happen, they pulling the gun. And you got a lot of people, man, they feel power. You know what I'm saying? They feel a sense of power once they got, a gun is powerful. It can make a unfair fight and give you an advantage in an unfair fight. Somebody might be bigger than you, stronger than you, have a little skill, might know some martial arts over you. Fist can't beat a bullet. But
I'm
nowadays, man, these people are quick to shoot.
Yeah, I'm gonna use a quote. I don't know where I saw this quote at, but it said, "Well, God made man, but Coke made them equal." That's true, man. Once you get that gun is an equalizer, man. So like somebody who normally wouldn't be you see a big dude, they be like, okay, that dude's big, I don't want. But now they got that pistol, they got that fake courage now, they got that equalizer. So something that could have been avoided with conversation.
Another thing too is that, man, it's glorified. It's glorified in the movies.
Yeah,
it's glorified in the music.
Most definitely the music.
Video games, bro. I think video games played a big part, man. Especially when GTA came out.
Yeah,
when Grand Theft, especially San Andreas, when that came out.
Yeah,
people, man, these kids are desensitized to like kind of like to death. We didn't have all these images of death and video and all this access to this stuff. Back when we was kids, if you wasn't seeing it in your neighborhood because you lived in the hood, they had a movie called Faces of Death. If you wanted to see how people, you had to, and it was a video, but it was kind of hard to get your hands on. Now these kids got it's in their phones, and they desensitized to it. It's at the point where they laughing at people getting injured and dying, or people deleting themselves on lives. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so they not seeing that a life is precious. That once you ain't no coming back from that once you take a life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and they don't realize the consequences behind it. Like they're not like when you pull
Exactly.
that trigger, man. You not only ruin that person's life, you ruin your own. You know,
Yeah.
they don't understand the effect of once they make that decision to pull that trigger. Like if they're not lawfully, if they're not in the right to do it, the consequences behind it, like you going to jail, man, or you might even get death penalty or depending on
Yeah.
the situation. So they don't understand the consequences. You not only
Yeah.
you might have won in that moment. You won a battle, but you lost the war.
Exactly. Now, man, me and JB, we big on self defense. Whether that's protecting yourself with your Second Amendment rights or knowing some kind of form of martial arts. You know what I'm saying? If you could take it to the hands, I'd rather take it than having me take somebody's life or somebody take my life. But I do believe if you have to protect your family, if you got to exercise that right, you exercise it. But let's go back to a famous quote, man. Everybody knows this quote. I'm about to play it for y'all.
You kids today are nothing but punks. Sissified. So quick to pick up a gun. You're scared to take an ass whipping. This one makes you a man. When I was growing up, this was all the protection we needed. You win some, you lose some. But you live to fight another day.
That's how it was, man, when we was coming up, man. It's kind of like, remember Goody Mob? People don't dance no more. All they do is this. All they do, people don't fight no more. All they do is shoot. Yeah.
So quick.
Now, man, we gonna go ahead.
I was saying they so quick to do it over like little minor stuff, man. Like
man, you see
like,
some of everything today.
Yeah.
You see some of everything, man. Every time you open your phone, every time you turn on the news.
Yeah, like cutting somebody off in traffic. Come on, man. I know it's not right.
People, man, significant others breaking up with them, and now they going and shooting that person. And also, these people, man, they shooting that person and the kids. It was a lady the other day. She got into it. I think her boyfriend broke up with her, so she murdered his daughter. It's crazy, man. This world is getting crazier and crazier. And so, man, I really do believe, man. So, man, what do you believe? What role do you believe mental health and background checks should play in gun control measures?
A big measure, that's a filter of people that shouldn't have it in their hands on it. But it's like a catch-22, man. Like me being a profession to where I used to deal with criminals. Thinking about criminals, man, they gonna do it regardless. They don't care about no law. But we gotta make sure we can get the. Me personally, I believe that if a gun in the right person's hand can be a lifesaver, But how do we filter out the people who shouldn't have it, So there has to be some kind of mental check, like yearly, or I would say yearly, like every year. Like they needed to go back to where, at least in Texas, I'm speaking from Texas, they need to go back to where you had to go get licensed. Like everybody has to be licensed to carry.
Yeah.
That's my personal opinion. It has to be some kind of filters of where they have to, either go to class, learn the laws, and then I would add a mental screening to make sure that person is mentally fit to even possess that gun. Because like depression, they can kill. They get into they hurt themselves or hurt somebody else just because
Yeah.
So
somebody that's unstable.
Kind of mental,
When I was in the military, bro, and I did military policing, they did a psychological evaluation on you before they put you in that role and gave you any training. They wanted to make sure that person's in that position and putting the gun in the right person's hand. And I hope it's the same in local police departments. I hope it's the same. I don't know if it is, but in the military they was really serious about who they was gonna make an MP, at least when I was in the Navy and when I went through the program, and who they was gonna give a gun to and give these rights and these positions of authority.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was extensive. They wanted to check everything. They wanted to know you crazy, on the verge of being crazy, was crazy. You know, they wanted to know.
But like I said, it has to be some kind of mental screening to make sure that that person's competent, because you don't want a crazy person with a gun, as you see.
No, hell no.
All these people, yeah.
Because like crazy people in the streets.
Yeah. But America, we come from a gun culture anyway, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the thing about it though, that's gonna be hard to do because because everybody gonna yell Second Amendment rights. You're taking guns away from us, But it has to be something. I feel
like it's too easy to get. It's super easy to get your hands on guns, bro. I could tell you a story right now, bro. When I was in high school, I grew up in Southeast Houston, man, and so we had some Southeast gangs, and some of the members went to my high school, but I've known some of them since elementary school, but they was in gangs and they had easy access to guns. During this time, they was getting guns from the port of Houston. Guns is coming into the port. We talking about, I'm in high school. These boys got rocket launchers. Twin. Yeah. I'm like, bro, what the hell I need with a rocket launcher? I ain't got that kind of beef. And I'm like, what the hell y'all need with that? They was getting AKs, Tech 9s, all kind of stuff, machine guns, and that stuff was coming through the port of Houston. They had easy access, and so yeah, there do need to be strict rules on it, man. And
the thing about it though, like whenever you put strict rules, so this is like another thing. You put strict rules, it's like you're gonna create a black market for it, So it's always gonna be that. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna stop a criminal from getting one. The thing is to make sure that the people that are competent, that make sure they can also have access to them too.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's hard, man. I don't know the answer because it's so many things that, like I said, I'm pro gun because I've been in a situation when I was a child that my mom didn't have that firearm. Some dudes tried to break into our house and she had to shoot through the door, but it was 5 of them.
Yeah.
And she didn't shoot that door. There's no telling what would have happened to us, So,
yeah.
So I'm definitely pro gun, but it's just like a lot of fools have access to it, and they just think just because they can lawfully carry it, they can lawfully use it. That's the problem,
Yeah, man. Shoot, man. One summer, man, we spent the summer with my grandmother in Port Arthur, Texas, and the news was talking about be on the lookout for, it was a white male and a black male, and they was kidnapping kids. They said be on the lookout. Yeah. So we was in the front yard playing, and my grandmother had a fence around her front yard. And his car pulls up, and there's a white guy driving, and there's a black guy on the passenger side. And they say, "Hey man, we really thirsty. Can one of y'all get us some water?" They were trying to get one of us to get close enough to the car. I think I was about 12 years old. I had a couple of cousins, man, that was younger, and we're looking like, what the hell? And the dude had a can of spray starch, and he took the top off. Yeah. If you could, hey man, just if one of y'all could just put some water in here, that'd be good enough. Trying to get somebody to come close enough to the car. And my grandmother kicked the screen door open. She came out with that shotgun. Shh. Y'all get the F away from my house. And that, man, it burned off. And if it wasn't for my grandmother having that gun, what I'm saying, maybe because they were just about to get one of my cousins.
Yeah.
So I believe that everybody who has the right to bear arms should have it, in situations like that, and you got to protect your family, protect yourself. But guns are not a game. Guns are not toys. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They're not toys. It's it ends in. You know.
Yeah.
But man, we're gonna let's break to a commercial real quick. Boom, 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 boom. What up, everybody? It's your guy T Swing. As you know, I was recently featured in the Trucker Magazine's March issue for my transportation music. Well, the wait is finally over. The transportation music is here now. Man, you can play it, stream it, download it, buy it, man. Spread the word. Good, clean music that jams. Be a part of history in the making, man. The first ever all transportation music album ever. Our own genre, transportation music. Ride what you got, T Swing. Let's get it.
Yes, let me show you how to pick it up and move it. Homie, this is transportation music. Something to ease your mind while you're cruising. Homie, this is transportation music. CTR is who we are. The media network, that's the best by far. Whether you listen at your home, at your job, in your car, come get the information that's needed above all. Neverlasting, motivational podcasting, giving you the answers to the questions that you're asking. Serious talks and topics, how to come up and profit, how to better yourself, your health and zip. We got it, reaching 350 million, they tuning in. We in 50 different countries, we all can. And like-minded, find your purpose and your assignment. Come get your fix, your feel, your mental alignment.
Man, just to give y'all a heads up, man, first weekend of May 6th, the Power of Podcasting event is happening with Dr. Tina Ramsey and the CTR Media Network. So you can go over there to the website, CTR Media Network, man, and get you a ticket. It's happening in Atlanta. You just seen the post, man. If you can't attend this event, you learn a lot about podcasts and learn how to monetize your show and grow. And hey, you got T-Swing. That's me on the song, so you never know. Back to it. So we had a situation, man, that happened yesterday morning, man, in Cleveland, Texas. A shooting happened.
That man, he's still on the run, right? I don't think they caught him yet.
Yeah, he on the run. They think he's gonna try to make a run for Mexico. Well, there was a guy in Cleveland, Texas. Cleveland, Texas is not that far from me. It's actually really not that far from me. Yeah, from us.
Like 30 minutes, if that.
30 minutes, yeah, bro. 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And this guy was in his yard. They say he was drunk. I think he had like an AR-15 or something. He was shooting in his front yard, shooting his gun in the front yard. And he was a Mexican male. And his neighbors, they were Honduran. And they came over and they asked me, say, hey, man, can you please stop shooting? We have a young child, a baby in the house, and we don't feel comfortable with you doing. The guy said, man, I do what I want to do on my property, and then turned the gun on the folks. Started shooting the people and went in their house and shot more people. He killed an 8-year-old, and I believe he killed 7 people. I believe there was 10 people in the house, and he killed 7 people. And he's on the run right now.
Yeah.
People like that don't need to have the right to have guns and have access to them.
But the thing is, it's
Go ahead.
How do you get access to that assault rifle? You know what I'm saying? Is it the legal way or the illegal ways? You know. So
yeah,
like this is my thing. It's like assault weapons, like AKs and AR-15s and stuff like that. It's like, okay, that's a military weapon. Should the public have access to buy those? You know.
Yeah, but I'm also like too. It's all about whose hands it in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what kind of and what their mind is like. Obviously, that gun was in the hands of the wrong person.
Yeah.
You know. I've seen people, man. They get under the influence and then they want to show their guns or start bringing guns out. When people start doing that, man, I leave. You know. I leave. But another thing too, man. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, but how do we keep people like that from accessing assault rifles if we don't put some kind of ban? But then again,
Yeah.
if something goes down with the government, you're gonna need an assault rifle. So it's like it's hard to
Mm-hmm.
find a happy medium, of what to do with that situation. It's like, hey, if we put
Yeah.
a whole bunch of regulations on it, all they gonna do is go get it illegal. No, they're gonna get it anyway, by
Yeah.
illegal
Yeah.
means,
People gonna find it legal.
But if you
Yeah.
but then if you do that, then the people who should have them, it's gonna be harder for them to have access to them,
Yeah.
So it's like it's a tough situation, man, because like mental health screening, that's probably the one of the best filters. Going back to
Yeah.
having where you had to take classes on how to operate and teach these people the law about when you can and
Yeah.
cannot use these weapons. I'm pretty sure. I'm guessing. I don't know for sure. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to jail thinking they lawfully carrying and not. Because like
Yeah.
I know for a fact that if you're carrying your car and you commit a certain level of a misdemeanor while you're driving in your car, at least in Texas, that becomes an unlawful carry if you break a law, if you commit another crime. So say for instance, your registration is out. Guess what happens with that gun in that car? Now it's an unlawful carry charge too. But a lot of people don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
It teaches people these
Yeah.
laws. So for me, it's like a trick. It's like a trick to me, like you setting people up. Because if you don't know the law and know when you can and cannot carry it, then you setting yourself up to catch a gun charge, not knowing the law.
Yeah.
But they're gonna tell you this: not knowing is not an excuse.
Yeah, exactly. Ignorance is no excuse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so man, we had that one, and then we had another situation where a man is a man. He's from Corpus Christi, Texas. He was on a date and he killed somebody. This recently happened. He was on a date with a lady from Houston, downtown Houston, and they were pulling up to the restaurant, and he was to look for parking. And so he saw he believed to be a parking attendant, and the guy was like, "Hey, you could park right here. This is how much it costs." And I believe the guy charged him $20 or maybe even more to park. He goes into the restaurant with the lady, and he tells the people in the restaurant about they paid parking. And the dude's like, "We ain't got no paid parking." He's like, I don't know who that was, but they just took your money. So the dude, he tells the lady that he's on a date with, "Excuse me real quick, I gotta go with my car." He goes back out, he runs up on the dude. They have an exchange. He pulls a gun out and he shoots the guy. Then goes back and continues his date with the woman in the restaurant. Now, there was a witness from another close by restaurant that saw him shoot the guy. The guy later died on his way to the hospital. And they had video of the man and the woman coming into the restaurant. So that was all on the news, and they was looking for him. So they had brought him into custody. They have the guy in custody right now. In that situation, because somebody lied to you and took $20, man, there wasn't no reason to kill nobody or to shoot somebody. So in that case, man, wrong person with access to a gun. But another thing to that too is you don't know how people are going to respond to certain things. In my instance, I would just say, man, just live right and do the right thing. And part of me says that if that dude wasn't, lying and doing something bad, that wouldn't happen to him.
Yeah.
Because you don't know how people gonna react.
But then again, like the way I would have handled the situation, that's just me though. I would just call the police, and then $20, man, $20 not gonna make or break me. You know what I'm saying? It's not worth me. Not that dude ruin his whole life over $20. You just charge that to the game, and that's just a lesson learned.
Yeah, we talk about that a lot, man. Reacting off emotion.
Yeah, you should have. Yeah, you should have verified. I would say next time I'm gonna verify him before I get this person my money or my keys or whatever.
Yeah.
But look, he done ruined his whole life. Now that's it. He got a murder charge.
He didn't throw his life away. Yeah, he didn't throw his life away. Yeah,
over $20.
I've been to Corpus Christi. Corpus Christi gangster. Corpus Christi gangster. Ain't nothing to do out there. It's gangster.
Yeah, but that gangster mentality ruined his life, though.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's so hard. Everybody wants to put this image up of a tough guy, man. It's not worth it, man. Especially,
Yeah.
ruin your life over $20 or something you can't
I
replace.
carry, but I've been properly trained. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I went to police academy. I've been properly trained. How to identify a threat, when to use excessive force. You know what I'm saying? To think before shooting. To recognize the threat, and does it require me pulling a firearm or another level of force? And the average person don't have that training.
Yeah, exactly. Cause like even people don't realize, man, when you shoot something, you gotta worry about what's behind you too. If you miss, or depending on what kind of gun penetration, they don't know. I haven't had extensive most of my gun training has come from in the prison system, but you got and my hand carry license. But I was going on behind you because there's one person and here to get, you might be lawfully to pull, but if you don't have to even think about what's going on behind you, you hurt an innocent, you still going to jail.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah, you still going to jail.
Right, should you still hurt somebody? Yeah, so it's a lot of responsibility. And you gotta know, Spider-Man.
And you gotta know once you protect yourself.
Responsibility.
Exactly, man. You also know that once you protect yourself, when does it become excessive? There was an instance where somewhere up north, a pharmacy was being robbed. It was about 2 or 3 guys that tried to come in and rob a pharmacy, and the lead pharmacist had a gun. They tried to come in and rob. He pulled a gun, and he shot one of the. I think it was 3 guys. One of them got out, took off running. He shot one of the guys close to him, wounded him, so that guy fell down inside the pharmacy. He went outside to go chase the other guy, fired at him, didn't get him. The second guy got away too. So the one dude he did wound, he comes back in and he empties the magazine on the guy while he's wounded on the floor. At first, he did a good job by protecting his crew and himself and getting the guys up out of there, But when he came back and he emptied the magazine on the guy in the store, he got murder. He got a murder charge and he went to prison. In training, man, I know there's the heat of the moment, adrenaline is pumping, but we're trained to think while we're reacting. I know anytime I've been in a situation, I'm thinking while I'm reacting. I don't just go, oh, pow, pow, pow. I never did that, man. I analyzed the situation. I looked at everything. And we had training all the time. We went to the range all the time because they want to make sure you're gonna hit what you aiming at. We had all kind of training. Firing with your strong hand, firing with your weak hand. You know what I'm saying? If you're wounded, all this kind of stuff. How to properly aim, with your weak hand. I was at this range, shooting at close-up range, shooting at a distance, combat situations. We had all these kind of trainings that we did, and drills that we did. So we was prepared. And so anytime in my civilian life that I was in the situation, I analyzed it. Did it require to pull a gun or not?
Yeah, because what people don't realize is that once that person is no longer a threat and you still going, now you're assaulting them. That's what they don't realize.
Yeah.
So that person ran. The reason why that guy got in trouble, that guy ran. If he's not armed and he's already shot, and you go up on him and he's still shooting him, now you're the aggressor. That's what they don't realize. Yeah. I'm gonna give you another story. I used to be a correction officer. I had a guy who was in jail for assault with a deadly weapon, right?
Yeah.
So he got jumped by 3 guys, right? 3 guys jumped him. He pulled a knife and stabbed one of them. And guess what happened? They got all clean as well with a lesser charge, and he went to jail because he pulled a knife and stabbed somebody, even though he was getting jumped.
Yeah.
That's a 4, So you gotta know these laws, man. Like, you gotta know even though in my opinion, he was justified. It was 3-on-1. That's the way I was thinking before,
Yeah.
But once you pull that weapon, the law. Sometimes it's not in your favor if you don't know what the law is. You gotta know how
Yeah.
far you
And
can
I
go.
would just say from experience, man, if you could stay out of the system or stay
Oh
from
yeah,
standing in front of the judge, do your best to do that. Because even if you might be in the right, we've seen this system
oh yeah,
put brothers in jail when they're in the right.
yeah.
So I would try to
And not
stay
just
out of the system, but your family's life is on the line. Your life is on the line. You gotta do what you gotta do to protect yourself and protect your family.
yeah,
Guns are not for play. You're not just to be showing off. There's been people that's been accidentally shot because people were showing off weapons or playing around. They weren't properly trained.
yeah,
I got a neighbor right down the street. That's how he got shot. He was a young teenager. One of his buddies had a gun playing around in the car. The gun went off. He got shot in the calf muscle. Luckily, it was his calf muscle.
yeah.
It could have been
You
his
can die from a
chest.
shot in the leg.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
But
they hit you in that
luckily it
artery.
wasn't his chest or his head. Exactly.
Yeah.
And so now, he was lucky. He was lucky, but somebody untrained who had access to a gun, playing around with it, fully loaded, one in the chamber.
Yeah.
And you gotta watch people. Some people don't know how to hold a gun. They don't know how to keep their finger out the trigger guard.
Yeah, that's the
Until
biggest
it's
thing
time
right
to
there.
fire.
Yeah, people
Don't point guns at people unless you intend to shoot. Keep your gun pointed down.
Down range. Yeah.
Down range.
They're like,
or down at the ground, or have that mug pointed up. And another thing too, man. Bullets come down.
Yeah. At the
Bullets
same
come
velocity
down.
as they go up. Yeah.
Exactly. So, man, there was when I lived in Corpus Christi. There was a man. I think it was the 4th of July. He got drunk, took his gun out, and started busting in the air. Bullet came down, hit his daughter in the top of the head, killed his daughter. Killed his own daughter. So yeah, what goes up must come down.
Yeah.
Like Pimp C say, what goes up must come down. But yeah.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing I've seen. Like you can tell people in that train, they want to keep that finger in that trigger guard, man. Like, no, man, take your finger out.
Take your finger out there, man, and keep that gun down range. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I went to the range. Boy, my nerves.
Man,
my nerves are bad, man. I went one time with some family members, and they brought their pistols, and we at the handgun side of the range, and they up there talking, and and turning around. Hey, man, hey, keep the gun pointed. Get your finger out the damn trigger and keep it pointed down range. I thought you knew what you was doing.
Yeah, you can tell.
you talking about you got guns, been having guns, man. People need to be properly trained. I think it should be forced that people have gun qualifications or something like that, or take a class like you say. It should be like every so many. It should be intervals on when you should go back and have refresher training, and that should be in your record. You know what I'm saying? They say, oh, you've been trained on these laws, and when the laws get updated, go back and go get trained on the new laws, or and how to properly handle a firearm.
Yeah.
They give a lot of people respect for it too, because you got to respect them. You got to respect guns.
Yeah, when I see people that they pass a gun, they don't drop the mag and clear the chamber and check. You don't know what you're doing, bro. You gotta make sure you always treat it as but it's not loaded. You always treat it like it's loaded, man.
You always treat it as loaded. Never point at anybody.
It's loaded. It's always loaded.
I always treat it as loaded.
If you think it's not loaded, it's always loaded.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
exactly, man.
But yeah, man, it needs to be. We need them. Like I said, it's like I said. Like for me, it's like if we pour more laws on it, then this is gonna create a bigger black market for it. But if we don't do something to control it, then we're gonna continue to have these situations. There's no way that somebody like an 18-year-old should be able to go buy a rifle, and it should be age restrictions, mental health checks, and training. That's just my opinion. Before you be able to lawfully carry a weapon or purchase one too, you know. But
Yeah.
it's gonna be gun lobbyists. No, that's not gonna. They don't want that, but we're going to do something because it's happening too much now, man. All these
Yeah, it's
mass
man. Yeah, it's happening
shootings.
too much. Too. Mass
Yeah,
shootings, school shootings, all this crap, man.
yeah,
Yeah, it's every time you look up, it's like every week or every month, some kind of
yeah.
mass shooting is happening somewhere.
But
So
this,
yeah,
this is my
they
thing.
do need to be stricter rules. What's up?
This is my thing though too, man. It's like a lot of stuff happens because the media, man. The media publicize stuff to a point that it give people ideas too, man. It's like it's ours, and that person sees it that's not mentally stable. They're gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do it too. They're gonna remember my name before I go. So I think the media
Yeah, there's been people that then went and did some stuff and got
it's
off on
copycat.
pleading insanity
Yeah,
and mental health.
I just think
Yeah,
there's a lot of copycatting going
yeah, it's
on
crazy.
that
It's
they just
crazy
need
how
to.
so many people. Yeah, but I bet if you plead mental health, they ain't gonna give you that opportunity.
Oh no, I'll be under the cell, sir.
Yeah, you won't even make it to the cell. They're gonna be like some kind of way he died in the bus on the way there.
Right on the bus
Yeah,
over there.
yeah, man.
They're gonna put
He
me in
choked
a.
himself
They're gonna put
out.
me in a room. They're gonna put me in a room with no AC.
They're gonna be like, yeah. They're gonna be like, yeah, man. He was a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He practiced a self chokehold and choked himself out on the bus on the way over there. Yeah, that's what they're gonna say. You're
He
like, what?
practiced
He
the dim
choked
mock.
himself out? Exactly.
He knows the dim mock and he used it on himself.
Exactly.
Or those don't know the dim
Well, that's a
mock is that's
dirty
a death
game.
touch.
Yeah.
But
shoot,
yeah,
man,
man.
if y'all like rocking with us, man, it's the Men Can't Always Be Wrong podcast. Make sure you hit the like button, man. Like, share, subscribe, comment. And if you want to, man, advertise with us, man, hit us up at MCABW Podcast at Gmail, man. Advertise with your boys, man. Let's get it. What you got, JB?
I always say nothing, man. I just like, man, yeah. Unfortunately, man, this is a complicated subject matter, man. Like
Yeah.
I'm kind of torn. I'm torn a little bit. It's like, yeah, I see the use for people being able to carry, but then there's a lot of irresponsible and emotional people that got them that
Oh,
shouldn't have
yeah.
them.
Yeah. Yeah, more than ever, a lot of emotional people. Yep. Yeah, we living in a very emotional society. They want everybody to get in touch with their feminine side and anything is toxic masculinity. But yeah, man, we got to find some kind of common ground so we can make a decision to put some things in place to have better rules in place. So those that qualify, we have more right-minded people with access to these, and those that have evil intentions or are not mentally stable, have restrictions or no access.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how I feel about that, man. Y'all, and people that know me know if I pulled the gun, it was either for self-defense of myself or my family. I'm not pulling the gun for show or to try to be bigger than somebody. That ain't my thing. You know what I'm saying? I've seen what guns can do. I've seen people get murdered. You know, it's nothing to play with. You know. But yeah. You got anything else for the people, JB?
Nah, man. Just if you are carrying, man, if you do have weapons in your house, make sure if you got any little ones, make sure you lock them up, man. And make sure that you know the laws, man. So protect your research the laws, man, because you get yourself in the jam thinking you're doing the right thing to protect yourself, and you're going to jail just because you didn't know the law, the way the law operates. So, if you're going to carry, make sure you properly train so you won't hurt nobody. Make sure you know the law so you won't be incarcerated. And if you got some little ones, man, make sure you keep them out of reach. That's all I'm saying about that.
Yeah, and if you don't have any, and if you don't a lot of these gun ranges and gun stores have training courses or have classes or have contacts posted so you can get properly trained on how to operate a gun, how to use it, how to clean it, and how to take it apart, and when to use excessive force or necessary force, and properly train you how to use that weapon and respect it. So if it's all brand new to you, if it's all brand new to you, man, take them classes. And so you can know how to protect yourself, but also make it safer for other people when you have to pull that weapon. Because if you untrained, you might hit everything but your target.
But
yeah.
Or shoot yourself like that one with that football player who shot himself in the club. What was his name?
I forgot, man, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, see.
Yeah, exactly. You want to know how to properly use and handle them. But yeah, man, this has been the Men Can't Always Be Wrong podcast. I'm T Swin.
Your boy J.
And that's exactly, man. And we're representing CTR Media Network. Also, like I say, man, make sure y'all, if you can, attend the Power Podcast and event with Dr. Tina Ramsey and the CTR Media Network family, which is happening in the ATL. You can go to ctrmedianetwork.com. Get yourself a ticket. It's happening on May 6th in Atlanta, ATL, man. Be there, be square. It's a lot of good information. If you want to get into podcasting or know more about how to handle it, make sure you go to the event. And, man, we'll see y'all soon, man. It's your guy, T Swin and JB. We out.
Peace.
Talking about. I don't know. Do you think about me? Smoking on trees, sipping on Hennessy. Switching lanes though, had to hit the hobby. Almost bit the sun, so my baby started to scream. Told her calm down, cause you know I got that lean. Gasoline in the tank, and you know I dropped the screen. Peanut butter on the seats, that's the mix that makes it cream. Getting top, F and I, we about to make a scene. You on top, we don't stop, this is what you see in dreams.
There's a new sheriff coming to a city near you, and I'm well on the mission to bring the new era to policing that will change everything that you know it as it relates to communicating, assisting, helping, delivering the correct and justified acts to remove crimes and to help you as a citizen against every crime that comes against you with the solutions to impact your community, your city, and generations to come with CPIIA, Citizens and Police Immediate Interactive Assistance. I cannot do this on my own. I need your help, and we together can for certainly make the change needed for a better city, a better country, for a better future.
CTR is who we are. The media network, that's the best by far. Whether you listen at your home, at your job, in your car, come get the information that's needed above par and everlasting. Motivational podcasting, giving you the answers to the questions that you're asking. Serious talks and topics, how to come up and profit, how to better yourself, your health is here. We got it. Reaching 350 million, they tuning in. We in 50 different countries, we all can. And like minded, find your purpose and your assignment. Come get your fix, your feel, your mental alignment.
CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.